Okay, use a compass and straight edge, construct angle bisector. So we did this earlier on the first page. So I'm just doing the same thing. Stupid staple. And we extend. What's true about every point that's on this ray? That's a ray. Hi, ray. Well, every point on here is going to be equidistant from the sides. So every point is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Okay, so that's something to remember about angle bisectors. Perpendicular bisectors are equidistant from the points. Angle bisectors are equidistant from the sides. Speaking of equidistance, construct an equilateral triangle. So I want my equilateral triangle to be congruent, each side to be congruent to this. So I have to actually get this measurement. So I copy the measurement of this length. And I go, where's this third side going to be? Well, it's going to be up here somewhere. And the same from both sides. So there we are. So here is my equilateral triangle. Easy as that. Okay, moving on to the next page. Regular hexagon. So the regular hexagon, I need first to get the radius. So I'll put a random point on here, and I want to measure my radius. Okay, so I got my radius. Then I come to my random point, and with that radius, I'm going to go around the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 should end up at the same point. I'm not going to put it, but 6 is the same point here. And then I just connect all those points together. There we go. If we needed to do a triangle, I would connect every other point. So if they ask me to do a triangle, and you don't have to do this, I just want to show it to you so you can remember how to do it. I connect every other point for a triangle. Okay, so that's just in case you get asked to do that. That's how we would do it. That'd give me an equilateral triangle inscribed in a circle. And then I also have my regular hexagon inscribed in the circle. All right, next problem. Copy this given angle to here and then bisect it. So when I copy it, remember copying an angle, change colors here. I do a big arc and copy that arc. I don't know how big it's going to be, so I'm going to be pretty large. Now when we copy an angle, we're really copying the opening. So I go over here and get the opening. That opens up to be that big, and I copy that over here. So here is my angle. And then it says, then bisect angle V. So now I'm going to bisect that. You know what? I can use this same arc here. So I'm going to use that same arc and go, hey, my angle is going to be somewhere. The bisector is going to be somewhere in there. There's my bisector. Okay. All right. Next page. We're getting near the end of this. Speaking of circles, we did hexagon and I showed you triangle. Now we got to do a square. Square is a little different. We have to remember, start a square off with a diameter. Okay, that gives me a point here and a point here. Then I'm going to do the perpendicular bisector of the diameter. So perpendicular bisector using the endpoints of my diameter. And I see I connected there to there. And I'm going to connect those. And notice that also gives me 2 points on the circle. Remember, we want to use the points on the circle. Then I connect those points to make my square. Okay. It just happened that when I did my bisector, the arcs ended up basically on the circle. That's not always going to happen. It just happened this time. There's my square. Okay. Center of rotation, 2 perpendicular bisectors. So I'm going to do it in 2 different colors so I can see them clearly. Let's do the first one in orange. So pick 2 points that are good, that match up. I like the elbow pieces here. So I'm going to take those two little elbows. Some people like to connect those, so you connect those if you want, and do a perpendicular bisector of those. Okay, so here's my perpendicular bisector. And now I'm going to do another one of two other points. Let's say these tips here, that tip and that tip, because they're the same, two sharp tips. Again, you could connect those, and I want to bisect them. You know what, I'm going to do it pretty large because I don't like having really tiny bisecting. I don't like the arcs to be too small. I like them further apart. There we go. It's easier to get a good line that way.
Attention students, the time is now 3:08. If you're taking a 3:15 bus, please make your way to the front of the school.
So now that we have that, we intersect the two pieces here. And there we go. There's our center of rotation. All right, one more page.